Number one, this is a very smart lawyer.
Not what you would call shockingly high levels of chloroform, would it?
Jose Baez is a lot smarter than most people give him credit for.
You were in fact drinking and driving.
But he was good.
I want to get back to my original question is, did you have another chemist verify your results?
No.
On cross-examination, the defense lawyer tore into this novel analysis.
Mr. Ashton can't help you, sir. I'm not asking you what you saw, sir. I'm asking you what you smelled.
Jose Baez knows that he can get underneath George Anthony's skin, and he tried to do that in front of the jury.
That are missing. You call the police, don't you, sir?
All eyes on lead defense attorney Jose Baez.
Did you make any statements to law enforcement prior to this, prior to July 31st, 2000?
You're trying to confuse me here.
And the way George Anthony had to go up on the stand, off the stand, up on the stand, off on the stand, it made him look guilty of something.
Is it your testimony that when you opened the trunk of that car, the smell of human decomposition was not stronger?
At that point, all I seen, or only thing I smelled, or only thing I saw at that time was a bag full of garbage.
I'm not asking you what you saw, sir. I'm asking you what you smelled. And if you...
Come on.
Mr. Ashton can't help you, sir. It really calls for a yes or no answer.
Always confrontational, seemed like never wanted to answer questions correctly, always evasive.
The reason you drove that car home and didn't call the police and went to work is because you knew Kaylee was dead already. Didn't you, sir?
Everyone's looking at George Anthony a lot different, right? I mean, we're looking at this guy as, is this a grieving grandfather or is this a monster?
The case hinges on forensics.
This is the very first time you've ever taken air samples, correct?
Yes, sir, it was.
You've never testified in a court of law about post-mortem root banding, have you, sir? I have not.
You're bringing science into a case. Jurors trust the science. Shouldn't they be hearing reliable science?
The amount of money that you get, sir, depends on how many of these devices are sold.
The duct tape leads to George Anthony, not Casey Anthony, and that's the key to their case.
So between your agency and the FBI searching the entire Anthony home, this is the only item where you found Henkel brand duct tape.
That's correct.
When did you go back and interview Mr. Anthony as to when and why he had duct tape that was found at the scene off Suburban Drive?
I did not.
Geologist, forensic examiner,
forensic toxicologist, crime scene supervisor,
Forensic chemist.
They wish they had more in terms of forensics.
And that's what this is, just more blah, 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 blah.
They went straight for the evidence.
And that's precisely where the defense team would start its attack on the prosecution case yesterday, by calling crime scene investigators and FBI lab analysts to the stand.
What you can say is that you did not get DNA or blood from the trunk of that car, correct?
That's correct.
You are not an expert in hair, are you? You are not a chemist.
Correct.
You don't know if post-mortem root banding is exclusively from people who are deceased, correct?
That's correct.
Now, you've never done studies on what's in carpet.
No.
On cross-examination, the defense lawyer tore into this novel analysis of death in a can as junk science.
You're not accustomed to handling evidence, are you, sir? Did you catch yourself in an error there?
Yes, I did. I noticed that it did not appear to be as it should be.
He got another expert witness for the prosecution, an FBI lab scientist, to concede that his own test of the carpet samples from the car trunk showed no spike for chloroform.
And it wasn't the most chloroform you'd ever seen in 20 years, was it?
It was not the most chloroform I've seen in 20 years, no.
It's not what you would call shockingly high levels of chloroform, would it?
No, it's not.
Again, you are not a chemist, so these are things that are a little bit outside of your area.
Okay.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Is this the first case that you've given mistaken information to the jury?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, so as far as you know, the only time you misinformed this jury was Friday afternoon when we spoke of this topic.
You're suggesting that I intentionally misinformed the jury. Yes, I did misspeak.
Sir, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just asking you simply if there's any other information that you gave this jury that was false.
Definitely was not an average lawyer. He was good.
That was good stuff.